Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus, and happy holidays to you. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Neca toys, Home Alone, Harry, and Marv. Part of their 25th anniversary celebration of Home Alone, here we have the Wet Bandits themselves. Now we're going to be taking a look at both of these in the same video because you can't do one without the other. Now, starting off with Harry, you can see you got a great image here on the actual package. Very retro and Christmassy. I absolutely love it. Same with Marv, but you got the nice Christmas theme kind of going on there. You got the 25th anniversary. You got the nice open window that fully displays the figure and his accessories, and you can actually see that this is a little bit different than what we gotten before with some Neca figures, and the fact that they actually got cloth clothing, which is really very interesting. To the side of it, you got the Home Alone, Home Sweet Home Alone. Then on the back, it says, accidentally left behind when his parents rush off on their Christmas vacation, 8-year-old Kevin McAllister embarks on a hilarious madcap mission to defend the family home when two bumbling burglars try to break in and find themselves tangled in Kevin's bewildering battery of booby traps. And then you can see also available, you got Marv and then Kevin. We're going to take a look at Kevin just by himself. One thing, though, that I don't think that they actually, I would absolutely love it if they actually had some kind of a diorama that allows you to have this kind of image here, where you have Kevin here in the front and then like this window with Marvin, Harry peering through the window. I mean, that looks really cool. I would absolutely love that. And then for Marv himself, same basic package, but the only thing different is that Kevin is on this side and then you got Harry there. The read-up is obviously the same and everything else is pretty much identical. But looking at these, I mean, the paint on here does look a little bit cartoony, but the sculpt-wise, especially here on Harry, looks absolutely incredible. I mean, they nailed Joe Pesci very, very nicely. Now, Marv here, I mean, does look very accurate, but like I said, it looks like there's a little bit too much extra paint on there that kind of gives it a very cartoonish, that strange sort of look. So, we'll get them out here. But for the packaging, that is about it for it. So, without further ado, let's get these guys out here and see how cool they actually are. Alright guys, so here we have Marv and Harry open up and out of their packaging. And these guys, honestly, it just, playing with these initially really just brought so many wonderful memories of the Home Alone movies. Not so much the sequels. The first one obviously is the best. Two's not all that bad, but then it gets really ridiculous after that. But just the memory of what these guys went through and, you know, that physical comedy that both of these characters kind of went through in the films, in both of them, you know, the first and second one primarily, was just absolutely terrific. Now, starting off with Harry, as you can see, like I said, they do come with real cloth clothing, and that is something that is very impressive to me. Now, I think that Neca's done this before with a couple other figures. I have never picked any of those up. This is my first kind of foyer with the clothing for Neca figures, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with what they've done. Now, granted, it does look a little bit bulky and a little bit baggy in some instances, but I don't think it looks all that bad. And honestly, for what you're getting, or for what you're paying, I should say, you're getting a heck of a lot of a figure. Now, the body underneath it is a standard kind of plastic body, so it's, you know, still very, very posable and nicely articulated. We'll get to that all here in just a little bit, but overall, just in general, I think that they did a really great job. There's a couple different layers here. You got the outer jacket. You got his vest right here that you can see just attaches via Velcro. And then you have a shirt underneath that also is Velcro. And then you come around here and you can see that the head has this kind of weird neck sort of thing on here. You got just a plastic body, and then you got a layer of pants right underneath there. So, like I said, I'm really actually kind of blown away with how decent this has actually turned out. A lot of times, clothing on toys, I don't think is done very well. I mean, Hot Toys obviously does a completely different job because those are very expertly tailored, and you can really see the difference here. I mean, if you gave, you know, Neca the budget to do a figure like a Hot Toys, I think that they would absolutely nail it. But I think with what they have, have to work with, this has turned out absolutely terrific. Now, for the accessories, both of them do come with this burglar bag. It's empty. You could probably take a whole bunch of extra things. I was thinking about taking like some Lego pieces and just stuffing it in there, and then you got a little drawstring that you can kind of fill it up and kind of create the illusion that there's things inside of it. You gotta rough it up a little bit. I mean, when you get it out of the package, it's very flat and pressed, kind of. You do want to get it nice and wrinkled to just give it some more realism. The term in the 1/6 scale community is called futzing, so you do want to futz with things like this, and obviously the clothes themselves, so you can get that looking pretty decently, I think. You just gotta get some stuff shoved in there. He also does come with a crowbar. Both him and Marv both do come with a crowbar. Basically identical. Really nice detail. Just this straight black. Very necessary accessory for these guys to have. Now, both of them come with other accessories that I don't honestly remember all that much. It may have been a small scene, but he comes, specifically, Harry comes with this kaleidoscope. Now, like I said, I honestly don't recall what scene in the movie or where this actually came from, but it is, I mean, it's nicely detailed. You got, obviously, the kaleidoscope color right there. It also carries through on the bottom. So really nice. You got some nice gold paint on there. Now, Marv comes with a bit of a snow globe, which, again, I don't remember exactly where this came from. Now, granted, I only watch this movie, if you're lucky, like once a year around Christmas time. So I probably don't pay as much attention to it as I should, and obviously not enough to do a video. But both of these accessories, I'm a little bit iffy on. I appreciate that they threw them in there, but to be totally honest, I think I would have preferred a few more recognizable accessories, I think, as opposed to those ones, which I'm just scratching my brain trying to figure out where they came from. I mean, I don't honestly know what you could have included, and I guess I should be grateful that they did include these nonetheless, but like I said, with Harry, you get the kaleidoscope. With Marv, you get the snow globe. Now, also, both of them come with an alternate head. Now, this one just really captures Joe Pesci, I feel. You look at it, and he's got that kind of grimace, squint-eyed sort of look, just the crazy kid, you know, kind of look. He also has feathers all over there. You come around to the top, you can see that it replicates the torch burning off the top of his hair and the ski cap there. I mean, just in general, this is a great looking sculpt. You got some nice hair there in the back. You got the dirty beard kind of look on there. Just overall, real great detail. I mean, even with the other one, I mean, both of them, I mean, this guy has a very nice Joe Pesci smile. A little bit more laid back and mischievous. This one is, you can see, he's definitely angry and really kind of annoyed with what is going on. One thing that I will say is that these are really tough to get actually unpegged. The way that they did it, I'm a little bit on the fence about it. This peg right here, as you can see, it rotates around, but it doesn't feel like it's super secure in the bottom. So you really have to put that on there and push really very hard, and honestly, I don't even know that actually did get on there. You gotta really drive that in there, and it's something that it feels sometimes, especially with Marv, when I'm rotating the head, I feel that pin kind of stretch and kind of warp as it's rotating around. So it's something that I'm not a huge fan of. Now, for his articulation, it is the exact same on both Marv and Harry. The head, like I said, is on a bit of a, well, see, I didn't have it pushed on there all the way. I don't know. Let me just wedge that in there. I don't honestly even know, like I said, if it's in there. It doesn't feel like it's in there, but it is on a ball joint, so you can get it kind of looking up and down, looks left and right. Nice range of motion with it. I just feel that pin isn't as secure as it should be. The shoulders do rotate all the way around, but they do kind of get hindered a little with the clothing. Not much. As with all like Hot Toy figures specifically, all you have to do is kind of rotate the clothing around with it, and you can get the arms to fully rotate. They move in and out up and down, just like so. Let me see, what else? They rotate at the upper part of the bicep. They got a bend at the elbow. The wrists have a rotation, and then they have a hinge to make it go forward and back. The waist down here, you got a rotation. The hips themselves move forward and back. I can't tell if those are on ball joints, but they move forward, they move back, they move in and out. They also rotate at the upper part of the thigh, or maybe up here around the hip area, but they do rotate. They bend here at the knee, and then the ankles do flex forward and back. You can see getting that lifted up. It's just on a little swivel right there, so you get that amount of articulation. Overall, I mean, like I said, the body isn't really bad. The clothing is really quite impressive, to be totally honest, and I didn't expect a full plastic body underneath, so that came across very nicely, and I was very happy to actually see that kind of incorporated. Now coming to Marv, one thing that you're noticing is there is a noticeable size difference, and that's accurate to how the characters were. Or specifically, I should say the actors, because there was a huge size difference here. Now with Marv, again, great likeness. As I rotate the head, I just feel like that pin is kind of, I mean, you can kind of see it as it moves, it goes back. So it's like right here, I'm kind of forcing it, and it's like warping the plastic on the inside, so I'm a little bit nervous. But you can see that in terms of the paint, you got a lot of nice paint detail on Harry that kind of looks, you know, dirty and gives it a more realistic feel. This is very clean, and I mean, even the face with the you know, clothes iron print right on there, it's just, you can see a big difference. Oops. You can see a big difference in terms of the way that the paint is on the face. This looks a lot nicer, I think. Now, that's not to say that Marv looks bad. It just looks super clean, cartoony, and a little bit more fake, I think. Again, the sculpting on it is phenomenal, though. It's just the paint that's actually incorporated. Now, again, you can take his head off, and this, again, pull that off, and it just feels like this whole thing is a little bit more fragile than I would like. And then you put this on, there we go, jam that on there. And I mean, the expression on his face from having an iron smash him in the face, and again, I'm futzing with it to kind of pull his shirt down, just, that's absolutely perfect. I absolutely dig that. Again, same articulation, you got the ball joint here, but as I rotate this, I mean, again, it just feels as if right here, it's not actually rotating, it's just kind of stretching that peg, and then you can see it just springs right back. So it does make me nervous. The shoulders move up and down, they rotate around, they rotate at the upper part of the bicep, bends at the elbow. Again, you got the hands that move forward and back and then rotate. You can see that both of these figures, their right hand, are sculpted very nicely, where you can have them holding their crowbar. The particular figure, for some reason, has just an open hand. I don't know if that's designed just to kind of like sit there like that, but I guess, you know, maybe you can actually see it, maybe something like that, but he can't really hold it or anything. Whereas Harry's left hand is actually sculpted in this more open kind of palm that he can actually hold the kaleidoscope. So that's pretty nice. He rotates here at the waist. The hips also move forward and back, in and out. They rotate, get that kind of rotating. They rotate there, so it doesn't have like a rotation at the ankle, but you can rotate the actual thigh, so you can get the leg kind of positioned where you basically want it. Bends here at the knee, and this I absolutely love. One of the more hilarious scenes, and it makes me cringe every single time that I see it. He's walking up the stairs from the basement of the McAllister home. There's tar on each and every step, and as he's walking, he steps, and then it sticks, and then he's got to pull up and then go again and make him bend back, and as he does that, it ends up pulling the shoes off, and as he keeps going up, it ends up pulling the socks off. And they actually thought to include red socks on him. That's absolutely terrific. Randy, wonderful job on that, sir. The attention to detail on these guys really is top notch. I'm just so thrilled with how both of these turned out. Like I said, I'm not 100% happy with how Marv here looks in terms of the paint. but the overall sculpting on both of these guys is rivaling, you know, something that Hot Toys would do. Like I said, if you gave, and trying to balance them, if you gave Hot Toys NECA the budget to be able to do figures, you know, like what Hot Toys does, I have no question that NECA would do an amazing job. These guys just really do look amazing, and it's so incredible what they're able to do for the price points. Now, these guys do seem a little bit more on the pricey side. They're $30 each at Toys R Us. I don't know if that's the going price. I mean, Toys R Us does kind of inflate prices from time to time. You know, but I'm really fairly impressed with how they turn out. You know, for a size comparison, here's a standard NECA figure. And you can see that, you know, there is more involved, obviously, here. I mean, they're bulkier figures. The clothing really does, I feel, increase the price. But proportionally, they are larger than what we get standard from NECA themselves. These guys really are terrific, and they're very iconic villains in kind of American pop culture, and I'm thrilled that they actually did these. These were definitely a treat, and oddly enough, these are going to become Christmas decorations in my house. But as I said, these are available right now at Toys R Us. So good luck and happy hunting. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. And until next time, happy holidays, and I'll talk to you later.